This is CBC Here and Now.
I'm not even going to smoke it. I'm going to save it forever. It's going to be vacuum sealed and put on the wall with a plaque that says tonight's date, and underneath says, "We won."
Sun rays, cones, $25.97, sir.
Woo! Here we go.
Thank you.
Grandma dongle butt sativa, a 3.5 a lemon skunk hybrid, and 2 pre-rolls, whatever you want to give me.
Educate yourself. That's what people need to do. Don't be foolish. Take it slow.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Jeremy Eaton, live at Club 1, where there's a party about to get underway to celebrate the legalization of cannabis.
This is a historic day, the end of the prohibition of marijuana. Just 18 hours after selling the first legal weed, retailers are selling out. So Jeremy kicks off our coverage now from Club 1.
So there's a party underway here at Club 1 thrown by Tweed to celebrate this day. But early this morning at 12:01, hundreds of people lined up to get their hands on the first ever legalized marijuana in Canada. At the downtown Tweed shop, there was hundreds of people lined up around the block. Also at the Healthy Vibe, there was hundreds of people lined up to buy marijuana there. Now, while at the same time in Portugal Cove, St. Philip's, Thomas H. Clark's shop was also lined up with a few people trying to get their hands on some marijuana, but he had already hand-picked his first customer, his father Don. Now, I was there early this morning and captured this scene.
Thank you.
Is awesome. Everything that the plan started how many years ago?
Oh, 2 years ago for this shop.
And it's just been a lot of hard work by him. He did get some advice and some tasting. So it's...
So, your son said you've been a cannabis user for 50 years. How does it feel now, you know, after 5 decades to be able to buy it legally here from your son, of all people?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But late, much late. I mean, we could have done this in 1969 or 71.
Did you ever think you'd see this in your lifetime, Don?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it's been discussed at length to overkill. But it's great to get I think the growing aspect and the development of the product and employing people here. If we did this with pork, lamb, everything else we have available. I mean, you look at Kitty Vitty Gut, they're selling iceberg water. I mean, it's a natural.
Now, earlier this week, Thomas Clark said he'd probably sell out by Friday. Well, in a hilarious twist of fate, at 4:20 this afternoon, he wrote on his Facebook page that his shop was out of marijuana. And the same goes for the smoke shop in Gander, showing just how popular cannabis has been in Newfoundland and Labrador. And there was no better example of that than last night at the Tweed shop on Water Street, where the Here and Now's Zach Gowdy was early this morning, and where he currently is right now. Zach, how are sales going down there?
Well, Jeremy, the crowds just keep coming, the registers keep ringing, and yes, the supply seems to be dwindling here as well. Right now they're selling just 3 strains of cannabis, but for Tweed and its parent company, Canopy Growth, today is about much more than sales. And last night, Tweed generated the kind of buzz that money can't buy. Here's how they did it.
It was the tap heard round the world.
Job done.
With a crush of cameras looking on, Canopy Growth CEO Bruce Linton rang in the sale that will be branded as Canada's first. Ian Power and Nikki Rose were the lucky customers.
Prohibition has ended right now. We just made history. Who else gets to make history like this? We just did it. We finally did it. all the years of activism have paid off in this one single epic moment.
For Canopy, this was an epic branding opportunity. Hours earlier, Power had been first in line, but Linton asked if he would be willing to share his spot. For the all-important first sale, the company wanted gender balance and a young person front and center.
Yeah, you make better decisions on cannabis than you do alcohol, so I think we're going to live a better life with cannabis. Yeah.
I can shake my hand to that. That is awesome.
With the clock ticking down to midnight, the lineup swelled to hundreds and stretched around the building.
Oh my God, I put myself through university selling pot. My God. I've been waiting for this for a long, long time.
What did you guys want to come down to be part of this event?
History. It's dry everywhere else.
Media were allowed inside first. Crews from MSNBC and Canadian Press were among the throngs of journalists jockeying for position.
Here's your receipt. The first legal receipt issued in Canada.
With history in the books and a publicity coup achieved, Tweed opened the doors and let the buying frenzy begin.
I got 4 different strains, you know. We're going to try out a couple of different producers.
You think you're going to save any of that first legal cannabis, tuck some aside, you know, for a souvenir?
No. No, I'll probably just share it with as many people who want to smoke it, I guess.
So while midnight was the magic hour for shops in St. John's, the only cannabis retailer in Labrador chose a symbolic time to open. High North is a family-run marijuana business, and they open today at 4:20. Jacob Barker is there now. Jacob, what's it like?
Well, Zach, it is the Tobin family that's taken on selling legal marijuana here in Labrador West. They're a family known for trying new ideas in business here in the town, and they're betting the bank on marijuana in Labrador City.
High North. It's a family-run affair.
So this is our store, and our brand is
Mother and son Brenda and Steve Tobin, along with their spouses, have been busy for months getting ready for the big day.
It's another venture for us. When I think of cannabis, it's a sale. It's no different than what we're doing in the other stores, really.
A lot of work and a lot of products.
This is only a fraction of the variety. We got stuff like Cheech and Chong, we got lit glass, red eye glass.
With shipments coming in last minute, the race is on to get up and running in time.
So we're a little different than everyone else, right? They're all opening at midnight. They want to get a couple hours in their sales. To us, it's not important, and to the owners, 4:20 is an historic, you know, it's a historic time.
Lots has gone into getting their doors open. Security is everywhere.
We got all precautions taken with that, above and beyond what NLC requested us to do.
There's 7,000 different products.
High North is Labrador's only legal cannabis retailer for now. It's also one of a handful of independents in the province. Everything paid for out of pocket.
Which makes it difficult because you're trying to do a really nice job, but yet you're on such a budget.
A challenge to get open, even simple things like opening a bank account, not easy.
The minute you say you're selling cannabis, there's a big red flag up said that they can't give us an account and would freeze other accounts that we have.
We put everything in it that we could possibly put into it, from the hours of work to money that we've had to come up with because there's zero funding.
Eventually, a local credit union gave them an account. Everything in, the family estimates it's over $100,000 deep. Risk that doesn't seem to faze them.
We're risk takers.
That part of it don't really bother me too much, no. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
The Tobins run 2 convenience shops in town, one right next door to High North. There was a reason they wanted it separate from their existing businesses.
In our other stores, it's family-friendly convenience stores. You don't really want the guy ahead of you buying a case of beer and a gram of weed when the kid behind you wants some popcorn.
Well, the Tobins, like many, are facing supply problems. In fact, they say out of 7 pages of product that they ordered, they got less than 1 page delivered to them. They're likely going to run out of product before the end of the night. It could be a little while before they see more product coming in. But we will go back to St. John's, where I understand they're having similar types of issues, where Jeremy Eaton is. Jeremy, what's happening there?
Well, right now, thanks a lot for that, Jacob. Right now, the doors haven't even opened at the Tweed party at Club 1, but the party is well underway. They're making some t-shirts here behind me. And the big act tonight is Broken Social Scene. And earlier this afternoon, we caught up with them, and we'll have that interview coming up in a little bit.
And that's our Jeremy Eaton, and we will talk with him shortly. Well, those people with convictions for pot possession will get help from the federal government to wipe the slate clean.
We've put forward a process on obtaining pardons that is simplified, that will be free for people who have simple possession of cannabis criminal records.
Ottawa is waiving the fee and waiting period when applying for a pardon. It says thousands of people face unfair barriers to employment, education, and housing because of convictions for simple pot possession. Cannabis legalization comes with some restrictions. In this province, you have to be over the age of 19 in order to buy and consume marijuana. You can only consume inside your own home or back garden. And if you're a tenant, the landlord can determine whether you can smoke in your apartment. Marine Atlantic has announced pot cannot be consumed at any of its facilities, including on board the vessels during a crossing. However, you can use it at federal and provincial parks, but only at your campsite and not in public areas. Well, for many people, this day is a long time coming. We went into our archives and found this clip from 1979 when a man named George Mercer in St. John's held a public protest over the country's marijuana laws.
Across Canada today, in St. John's, delegates to that leadership convention are having to cross a picket line of sorts to get into the meeting. A lone protester, George Mercer, has shackled himself with a ball and chain to protest Canada's marijuana laws. He says he'll keep hobbling in front of the building till the convention ends.
Well, it took a while from 1979 to now, but anyway, it was a historic day. The weather was lovely, too, for all those people out shopping.
It was a gorgeous day today. Temperatures, you know, pretty similar, or rather a little bit cooler than yesterday, but still quite nice across the board. If we take a look at what the weather is on the way over the next couple of days, we do have some winds on the way for parts of the island, but not until Saturday. It looks like the strongest winds yesterday will have we'll spell that out for you, and then some more snow on the way for Labrador. Unfortunately, we're looking at another amount of accumulation, somewhere between 5 to 10 centimeters in some cases, and then it also looks like we could see the first snow on the way for parts of the island, accumulating afternoon tomorrow, closer to the higher elevations, but it does look like more rain is on the way. But I'll have all those details coming up in a little bit.
Thanks, Ashley. In other local news tonight, a man is in custody after an afternoon of driving dangerously. The incident started as a theft of a Kia Sedona in Avondale, according to the RCMP. Although the Sedona ended up here in St. John's, that wasn't the end of the man's day. Police say he fled after hitting a nearby utility pole and then allegedly carjacked a different vehicle. That vehicle had a woman and 2 children inside who did get out safely. The man is also thought to be involved in a hit and run, a 3-car crash, and ramming an RNC cruiser. Today at the Muskrat Falls Inquiry, testimony from a longtime Newfoundland Hydro employee who reviewed the Lower Churchill project before it was sanctioned. Engineer John Mallam says he warned Nalcor that it was lowballing the cost of the project. At the time he reviewed it, Nalcor was estimating it would cost less than $6.5 billion. Now that cost has since ballooned to nearly $13 billion. Mallam says the original price tag should have been much higher to account for potential budget and schedule overruns.
I would suggest that what would happen is if the estimate had been completed to a higher P factor, it wouldn't have been 6.4. It might have been 7 or 8 to begin with 10% on top of that.
Well, if you're upset about missing out on tickets to the upcoming local performances of Come From Away, you're not alone. All 8,000 tickets to the 8 St. John's shows were nabbed by 11 a.m. yesterday. That was a letdown for many of these people who waited in line for hours yesterday. Promoter Cheryl Hickman says 150,000 people tried to purchase tickets online too, but only a small fraction of them secured tickets. Some of them now on the resale market. She says it's unlikely more shows will be added because of the cast's busy schedule. A move to Mile 1 isn't possible either, as the venue is not available. Well, winter weather in Labrador meant slippery roads forced this truck off the road. Could the snow be soon coming to the island? Ashley's got your forecast next. And welcome back to Here and Now. And Ashley, as we saw just before we went to our commercial break, slippery conditions, road conditions in Labrador caused a bit of traffic problems. Yeah, the RNC says this truck lost control around 10 o'clock last night. It was on a steep hill just outside Lab City. It blocked much of the eastbound lane. The highway was closed to commercial traffic, but regular cars and trucks were able to get through. No one was injured. No charges are being laid. Welcome to the beginning of winter.
It's certainly here, isn't it? Probably a good idea to get your studded tires on now. It's they said that that's okay, which is a little bit early now. But you know, more snow on the way through the day tomorrow, it looks like. But winds really were the story yesterday. We'll take a look at some of the amounts or the winds that we saw through the afternoon. It topped out at 130 kilometers per hour for Angley, and then Bonavista 126 kilometers per hour through the day. Winterland saw 109, and then St. John's Airport reported a gust of 104 kilometers per hour. Now those winds have since dropped into the afternoon. Gander 102, mentioned that yesterday. It is the strongest winds for an October day in 19 years, so quite strong there. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, much cooler than yesterday, sitting at about 9 degrees in St. John's. Yesterday was sitting about 15. Deer Lake at 7 degrees, and then Happy Valley Goose Bay +1, Labrador City sitting at -2 earlier today. Those temperatures still sitting at that for Labrador City, Happy Valley Goose Bay hovering around the 0 degree mark, and then we're seeing some cooler temperatures move in. Corner Brook at 5 degrees right now. So through the overnight tonight, we are going to see those temperatures dip a little bit more. We did see some cloud cover roll in through the afternoon. Much of the day was absolutely beautiful in behind that system yesterday. But taking a look, zooming out, this is the next weather maker, and that will move in as we head through the night tonight, particularly down around the south coast. That's where we'll see most, or rather where we'll see that rain start overnight tonight and then spread further east through the morning hours. And then higher elevations, it looks like some colder air moves in, which means most of that will fall as snow. For the southern half, or rather towards the west coast, it does look like rain through the day for the most part. And then into the overnight, those temperatures are going to drop. We are looking at that potential for snow through the interior and then towards Gander as well. And then into Saturday, things will pick up again, and we're going to see that potential for some more snow and rain, or rather rain and wind into the weekend. So for tonight, 3 degrees for St. John's. Those winds will ease, but we are looking at that rain, 5 millimeters on the way for Marystown. And then Port aux Basques looking at about 5 to 10 millimeters. The wind's rather light, except for Port aux Basques and Wreck House area could see those winds upwards of about 70 kilometers per hour through the night tonight. St. Anthony +1. Gander looks like showers, but we could see a few flurries in the mix as that temperature hovers around the 0 degree mark. Now, Happy Valley Goose Bay looking at a couple more centimeters tonight. Most of that snowfall will fall tomorrow. And then Labrador City, same thing at -2. Winds generally light out of the north at 20 kilometers per hour. Cartwright looking at flurries again, 0 degrees. The Straits, either rain or snow as that temperature hovers around the 0 degree mark, and then rain, or Nain rather, looking at flurries and 0 degrees. So let's look at tonight's forecast. We'll have a look at tomorrow and how much rain is actually going to fall coming up in a little bit.
Thanks, Ashley. More than 24 people are actively trying to leave the sex industry in St. John's. That's part of what the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls heard today. The inquiry is in the city this week, looking into issues of human trafficking and sexual exploitation. Here now's Bailey White has our story.
It takes a lot of courage to walk through a door and say, I need help.
Mary Farron has seen a lot of what she calls courageous women in her job with the Blue Door program. It helps sex trade workers in St. John's leave the industry and go back to school, get jobs, and find suitable housing. 21 people are taking part right now, with 10 more on a waiting list. About a third of the people looking for help are Indigenous.
It tells me that there is a real need for particularly Indigenous directed and service programs, and we certainly are looking at how we can expand our program to really incorporate more aspects of Indigenous beliefs and practices.
But not everyone who works in the sex trade wants to leave.
Prostitution paid for my son here to go on his grade 7 field trip. Otherwise, I couldn't send him. Prostitution paid for my daughter's tap dancing shoes.
Lanamoon Perrin is an Anishinaabe woman from Sudbury, Ontario. She's in St. John's to tell her side of the story. Perrin describes herself as a sex worker and an activist who got her start in the industry when she was just 16.
I'm not a victim because I chose to do that. I'm empowered because I was able to provide for my children when nobody else could.
The witnesses were conflicted about whether lawmakers should move to abolish the sex trade or simply decriminalize it. Either way, they all agreed it needs to be safer. The inquiry continues tomorrow. Bailey White, CBC News, St. John's.
Feels right. It's kind of emotional, I gotta say. We won't have to run everywhere in the street, try to find some. Screw dealers, like I'm done with that.
Next, the lineups for weed on the West Coast as Corner Brook's pot retailers open for business.
Welcome back to Here and Now. We're down here, Jeremy Eaton down here live at Club 1, where there's a massive tweed party on to celebrate the legalization of cannabis here in Canada. The party just got started at 6 o'clock, but you can see there's a lot going on. We're in what's called the green room. No actual marijuana, but there's a lot of greenery here. They're making t-shirts just behind me, and you can't see, but in the back, there's an open bar. Not an actual open bar, an open candy bar. Now, while there's a lot of greenery in here, you're not allowed to smoke inside, and legally, you're not really actually allowed to smoke out on the street, but there is a green carpet outside. There's also, from what I understand, a green carpet down outside of the Tweed shop on Water Street, and that's where Here and Now's Zach Gowdy is. Zach, how are things down the street?
Sales are still flying fast and furious, Jeremy, and of course all the marijuana for sale in this province goes through the Newfoundland and Labrador Liquor Corporation, and I'm standing by with Sharon Sparks, the president and CEO. Ms. Sparks, how is legalization day unfolding from your point of view?
From my perspective right now, things have gone exceptionally well. I'm very pleased. Last night, while everything was happening here, there were many people at the office in a room anxiously awaiting midnight for the online to go live, and it was a great success. The launch of that, we had a countdown, and just to see it live. The online piece was brand new for us in our business, selling products like that online, so I'm really pleased with how the team pulled that off.
Of course, we're all in a brand new world when it comes to this stuff, and I know you and the other NLC executives are out doing a little tour today of some of the retailers in St. John's. So what were you seeing?
Well, certainly the licensed cannabis retailers have done a great job in the lead up to this to get themselves ready, to get their stores ready. As the regulator, I have to say the safe, secure access, I'm confident, is there. And the fact that we have 22 stores open and relative to the rest of the country, I feel very good about that as well. Although that said, we do have some challenges, and the supply issue is well known, I think, across the country. We're working with our suppliers. We are constantly on the phone dealing with these issues. We have 7 supply agreements, including Canopy, and I'm confident in Canopy's ability. They have a commitment to us, as you know, 8,000 kgs per year for 2 years. The other suppliers, the supply agreements, I'm confident that as time goes on, we will get to the commitments that they put in place for us. However, right now it is very much a challenge.
And with a few of the shops are running out of product on day one, are you confident that when the hype of legalization day dies down, that the supply will be there?
Yes, but we need to be patient. It is going to take a bit of time. I know there will be more product on the way in the next few days, in the next few weeks. However, over the next, say, quarter and into next year, I think we'll get the kinks worked out, and the suppliers, there's various reasons, from a crop failure to they never got their packaging, they're having challenges with excise stickers. So it's a wide variety. I do believe they'll work it out and we'll have the supply we need and it will stabilize. However, patience will be necessary in the process.
Indeed. Well, we'll all be watching, Ms. Sparks. Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
And as you can see, it's still a live shot of the Tweed store in downtown St. John's. This store still at capacity, folks still waiting to get in. So Debbie, that should tell us all we need to know about the demand for legal cannabis here.
Thanks so much. That's our Zach Gowdy live from downtown St. John's tonight. Well, in Corner Brook, people waited for hours to get inside the pot retailer. Here now's Colleen Connors has the reaction from the West Coast.
Drizzle didn't keep these customers at home. Some even showed up at 7:30 to be the first in the store. At 9 a.m., they came rushing into Tweed, the new modern shop on Broadway.
It's beautiful. I am actually blown away. They have made such a nice store out of it. I feel like I'm in like an Apple store.
People piled in to view empty jars. No marijuana was on display in all the display cases. Staff say provincial regulations won't allow products out in the open.
Well, our glass jars, they're called snifter jars. They were actually supposed to be filled with flour, but we weren't actually allowed to put flour in them just because of some regulations. But we still have them on display, and we're hoping maybe in the future we'll be able to actually display some of the products. That way people will be able to give a visual representation of what the products are, right?
Instead of browsing the different buds, customers lined the perimeter of the store for hours. The marijuana is kept in locked drawers and sold in tin cans. This is the first 15 grams of cannabis sold in Corner Brook. And there's a reason he bought it here.
Thank you. It's more like get always the same quality. You're not going to be something you don't know really what it is, what's in it.
Oh yeah, no, screw dealers. Like I'm done with that. If there's something like this, I mean, this is so much more legitimate, so much more safe and regulated. Yeah, I'm only going to come to the stores.
It seems most people here have the same idea. Well, there has been a steady line here at Tweed on Broadway since 7:30 this morning, and the line keeps growing and growing. The store is open until 10 o'clock tonight. Pauline Connors, CBC News, Corner Brook.
Thanks, Colleen. It's pretty loud where she was earlier today, and it's pretty loud where we are tonight. That's down at Club 1 for a housewarming party to welcome in the legalization of marijuana. And as you can see, there's a lot of visual stimuli here tonight, and there's a lot of loud music, and there's a big band coming. For the first time ever, a band called Brook and Social Scene will be taking the stage here as part of the special party thrown by Tweed. Now, earlier today, we caught up with two members of the band and had a little chat about their first ever show in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Well, we got asked to come out here to play our first gig ever in St. John's, Newfoundland as a band, to play for the legalizing of marijuana celebration party thrown here by Tweed, the company. Well, I believe jazz artist Lonnie Liston Smith said it best when he said, "Expand your mind."
Is it an honor for your first show in St. John's and Newfoundland and Labrador to be for the legalization of marijuana?
I think it's just a fun thing to do, and it's a big step. I mean, you just don't want people getting tossed in jail or fined in any way for a possession charge or something like that. It's a big step. I mean, it was less than 100 years ago you couldn't walk around with alcohol, so here we are in 2018, and yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. It's a lot of interesting steps that the government will probably get some of them right and some of them wrong.
Can't believe that it's actually happening today, and just on a health level, health alone, to introduce marijuana into our country is amazing, and the economy needs it, and I hope that it just keeps building from here. I know there's always worry and there's a responsibility that comes with these big moves, but it's just something that's been needed for such a long time, especially in knowing what you're purchasing. It's huge in the drug world, and the fact that we have an opiate crisis happening right now and so much within the medical world of prescription drugs that get abused, I think it's really important to embrace marijuana the way that they're doing. And just another amazing reason to be Canadian right now in this time. That's just not the greatest time in the world.
So the band is pretty excited to be playing here tonight, and a lot of people who are here are getting pretty excited as well to see them. Now, the doors only opened about 35 minutes ago, but it's starting to fill up, and there's a lot here that you can take in. So the band will go on at 10 o'clock tonight, and there's a lot of buzz, so much so that organizers ask people to come early just so that they can make sure that they get in before they fill up to capacity.
Your job was to keep those girls safe. You're a danger to your own children.
An audience of chairs opens this year's St. John's Women's Film Festival. That's next on Here and Now. A Newfoundland feature film has the honor of opening the International Women's Film Festival tonight in St. John's. Audience of Chairs was partly filmed in Torres Cove and has picked up 4 Atlantic Film Festival awards. Newfoundlanders Deanne Foley, Rosemary House, and Dwayne Andrews won for Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Score. Based on Joan Clark's novel, it's been described as a powerfully layered film about mental illness.
Your job was to keep those girls safe. You're a danger to your own children. Don't think that I don't know what you're doing. Bring them back to me! Duncan!
The best interest of the child is always the court's concern.
I'm the best interest of the child. I'll get better. I'll do anything.
Director Deanne Foley and the film's lead, Carolina Barczyk, join me now. Welcome. Congratulations on the success so far.
Thank you so much. We're absolutely thrilled with the film and also being here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Very welcome. Deanne, just give us a synopsis of the film.
Well, it's based on the novel by Joan Clark, her beautiful, critically acclaimed novel, and it's about one woman's struggle with her mental illness. And it takes place in 1997, and there's a passage of time where we follow Maura dealing with her mental illness and her journey to get her children back.
How difficult was it, Carolina, to take on a very complex character that is Maura?
I actually didn't even want to audition for it. I read the audition and I thought, no, thanks, that's really tough. And then after I picked up the book and read it over the weekend, and I just thought, wow, what a complex and wonderful character she is. And also, what an enlightenment as to what it is to live with mental illness. And it actually broke my heart that this woman was, that there are people that have this mental illness that don't feel like they fit into this world and aren't understood or accepted. So my goal was to, you know, make everyone love her and understand how difficult her life is. She can't always control how she reacts to things, but she is a loving and beautiful human being, and I wanted people to see that.
There is a lot of angst, emotion in this film, but there is as well an exploration of a mother's love. Deanne, how did that play out?
I am a mother of 2 children, and when I first read the script, I just wept. I just couldn't imagine losing my kids and having so many years without them. But for this film, I think it's really a message of hope. It's, I think it's a redemption story. It's about Maura looking for, coming to terms with what she's done and self-forgiveness. And, you know, she's a survivor. She powers on.
It's interesting that Joan Clark's novel was written more than a decade ago, that it's in many ways timely because to you, your comments, Carolina, about mental health issues and so on, there is more of an open conversation about mental health problems today. What is it that you want the audience to take away from this?
Well, yeah, I think it's really important just to get people talking. And I think, you know, for me, when, you know, someone comes to see the film, I don't want to kind of dictate what they should be experiencing or what they should take away, but it is a message of hope.
And to you, Carolina?
I think that we don't talk about mental illness enough. I think even if we're scratching the surface, that's not enough. If someone were to break your leg, you'd never say, let's go have a beer and make you feel better. But if someone loses a job or suffers a traumatic experience, we say, come on, just snap out of it. It'll be fine. And that is not enough. We need to explore mental health. We spend hours on our bodies taking care of them, but we don't take care of our minds. And we don't understand fully what, I mean, I think the general population doesn't understand fully what some of these mental illnesses are. They can be genetic, they can come from the surroundings, and knowing more about them, maybe people can protect them, not protect themselves, sorry, that's the wrong word, but they can prepare themselves for it if they do see that maybe it might happen to them.
And you managed to get Torres Cove in there as a beautiful scenic area to shoot this. That must have been special for you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was such a thrill to film in Torres Cove and to get an opportunity to film in my own province. But it was absolutely glorious when we were filming. It was, I think it was 30 degrees, you know, whales were breaching, like the crew were distracted. And
We would like pause in the middle of a scene to run and just watch like whales swimming by. I mean, you can't.
That was a treat because there's lots of fog, lots of times.
Exactly. Yeah. We really lucked out with the weather.
Well, you have been honored, as I said in the intro, by having this film premiere at this, well, not premiere, but open up the 29th International Women's Film Festival. You must be really excited.
Yeah, it's an honor. It feels like winning the lottery, you know, to actually open up the festival, who's been so good to me over my career. And so it's a huge honor to open the festival with an audience of chairs. We're just delighted.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. Best wishes to you. Have fun tonight. And as the film goes forward, I hope for more accolades. Deanne Foley, Carolina Barczyk. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you're interested in seeing An Audience of Chairs, it will be in theaters in the winter of 2019. Turning now to national news, Paul Bernardo has been denied early release. The convicted rapist and killer lost his bid today in front of a national parole board panel in Ontario, and the lawyer for some victims' family is relieved.
It's been a very stressful day for the families. We're obviously relieved by the decision. We don't take anything for granted. It was a very difficult process for the families.
The parole board says Bernardo is a dangerous offender and that his prolonged incarceration does not contravene the Canadian Charter of Rights. Bernardo has spent more than 25 years behind bars for kidnapping, torturing, and killing 2 teen girls in the early 90s. The 54-year-old told the hearing today he did dreadful things in the past and that he cries over his crimes. One of Bernardo's rape victims urged the board to keep him in prison. Now, while you're on the go, we're broadcasting live on YouTube, and you can also catch past episodes on demand. Just go to YouTube and subscribe to CBC NL. We'll be right back. Welcome back once again. Before we get to your weather, Ashley, we've got some pictures. Let's talk turkey.
Yeah, Thanksgiving might be over, but it looks like there are some turkeys still on the run. Matt Roberts spotted this turkey wandering around Signal Hill Road just after 6 o'clock this morning.
Oh my gosh, she's on the lam, so to speak. There was also another sighting from Lisa on Twitter of a turkey on Temperance Street by the Four Sisters.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's a great shot there, wow.
And look at the color and everything, the quality.
That turkey looks yummy.
Oh. Run, turkey,
Yeah,
run. So how are things shaping up for our longer range forecast?
Yeah, we could see the first significant snowfall for parts of the island as we head through the day tomorrow, particularly into the evening hours. Not a lot of agreement though just yet, so we're going to keep an eye on that system there. But it does look like rain is certainly on the way through the night tonight. It'll start down through the south coast, and then those winds will pick up as well. And then we'll see that rain spread further east through the day tomorrow. Where this low is situated is what's going to be the determinant factor on whether we're going to see that snow or not into the afternoon tomorrow. Definitely up through the higher elevations, that's very likely, about 2 to 4 centimeters on the way. But it's into the evening hours, once this low wraps around some colder air with it, is when we could potentially see things change over either to a wet snow or snow altogether for parts around Grand Falls, Windsor, and then even into Gander as well through the overnight on Thursday into Friday. Now, eastern areas of the island and will see mainly rain, and that's because those temperatures will stay well above zero. But in behind that, on Friday, things will clear out for the most part. Just some lingering flurries. Again, some cooler air expected through the day. And then into Saturday is when the next system rolls in, and with this is where we could see some strong winds, likely seeing some more wind warnings by the time Saturday rolls around. So here's a look at tomorrow's forecast. For the most part, rain to start for Gander, about 10 to 20 millimeters expected. Temperatures around the single digits in more of a southwesterly and then southeasterly and then northeasterly flow through the day as that cold front pushes through. St. John should reach a high near 10 degrees, staying rain in the morning. Heaviest rainfall in the morning, some southwest winds near 50 kilometers per hour. Marystown looking at about 10 to 15 millimeters. Again, that temperature hovering around the 10-degree mark. And then a little cooler in the single digits for Corner Brook, 7 degrees, and 8 for Portabask. Again, 2 to 4 centimeters for higher elevations. Down at the surface, things should stay as rain. Up through Labrador, we are looking at Happy Valley Goose Bay, about 10 to 15 more centimeters of snow on the way tomorrow. That temperature hovering around 3 degrees. Lab City -5, and then flurries expected there as well, and then either rain or snow for Cartwright at 3 degrees. Winds not too bad through the day tomorrow. Now into Friday afternoon, Happy Valley Goose Bay looking at skies clearing through the day, -1, -6 for Western Labrador. Snow will move in late day again. And then Western Newfoundland looking at either flurries or showers in the morning, and then the sun should peek out at times. And then flurries for Central Newfoundland as well, and 5 degrees. St. John's just looks like a chance of showers, and 6 degrees on Friday rather. Saturday, things warm up again. Some cloud cover moving in towards the evening hours, about 9 degrees. Rain on the way for Central Newfoundland, and then those winds are going to pick up for Western Newfoundland. So timing that out, strongest winds look like they'll start to pick up Saturday night into Sunday as we spread further east. With gusts upwards of about 70, even 90 kilometers per hour. Not out of the question for Sunday afternoon. So that's a look at your outlook. We'll look at the weather photo when we come back in a little bit.
We'll check back in with Jeremy for one last time this evening. Jeremy, you're at Club 1. There's a celebration to mark this first day of cannabis legalization.
Yeah, the Canopy-owned Tweed store that we've been talking about a lot tonight, that's a store selling marijuana all across the province here. They wanted to throw a special, what they're calling a housewarming party, to sort of welcome in the legalization of cannabis. Now, if you look over my shoulder, you see that there is a stage set up. Now, earlier, if you're watching the program, we were talking to the band Brook and Social Scene. They've flown in from Ontario to play their first ever show in Newfoundland and Labrador. They were pretty stoked to be here. There's a couple of DJs playing now, but there's a lot of going on, a lot of stimuli, so to speak, for people to participate in. So we're just going to take a little tour around the room. So what they've done is they've set up this dance floor. You can see earlier we were talking about the brightly colored Tweed sign there. A few DJs spinning some tunes there, and some people trying to get out on the dance floor. Earlier we were looking at the t-shirt making that they had that they're giving out free of charge. As I said earlier, there's an open bar, but that's more of a candy bar, not an actual bar. And there's a lot of greenery in here, but as we've been saying all along for the last couple of weeks, you can't smoke cigarettes in here, so you can't smoke marijuana in here either, and you can't really smoke it on the street. So this is just sort of a celebration about the legalization. It's not an actual pot party, so to speak. And you can see that there are a number of people here who have come in, all getting ready to take in Brook and Social Scene. But one of my most favorite parts that we've been saving for last is this sign here. This is Tweed's High sign. That's one of the logos they're using. And if you can see the names in there, that's the brands of all the products that they've been selling that Zach Gowdy and Peter Cowan have been telling us about all week. So basically, this is probably the biggest pot party in the province going on right now, but I know that there are others, not only in St. John's, but all over Newfoundland and Labrador. For many, this is a very big deal. For some, it's not as big of a deal. We got to keep that in mind. But people here are just here to have a good time and celebrate the legalization of cannabis. And that's basically all I got right now. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Debbie, in the studio.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. I can hardly hear you. There's that much, or you can probably hardly hear us. But anyway, thanks very much for all of your reporting this evening. It looks like quite the time. Well, today's big news is putting Canada in headlines around the world. This is a look at some of the front pages across the globe, from the Washington Post all the way to Sydney Morning Herald. Many outlets remarking that Canada is only the second country after Uruguay to legalize recreational pot. The move is making waves as far away as Japan and China, with some papers there calling Canada the world's largest marijuana marketplace. And here at home, even locally owned Purity Factories is getting in on the weed action. This is an ad Purity put out on social media saying munchies with one of its ginger snap cookies, and you can see it on Purity's Facebook and Instagram sites, where it's getting hundreds of comments. You think, Ashley? With a smiley face, too. Oh, my.
So many puns.
Yeah.
So many puns. Yeah.
So we're just about the end of the program, but you've got a lovely weather photo.
I do. Take a look at this stunning shot in Central.
Oh, what a beautiful sky.
Beautiful October sky. That's the sunrise there.
Okay.
A couple days ago, just before the storm, so.
Okay. When did you say this was taken? I'm sorry?
On the 16th, so yesterday morning.
And it was, okay, so that expression, red sky and morning, sailors take warning, and boy, did that ever live up to its saying, for sure.
It sure did.
Those are interesting clouds there.
Mm-hmm. They are high cirrus. They're making for a beautiful, beautiful sunrise there. Any idea where that's from?
No. No, I have no idea. It looks really nice wherever.
It's cute, beautiful. So this is Glovertown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I travel that way during my summer travels across the highway out to Central. Lovely little spot there, beautiful by the water.
Yeah, beautiful October sky there. Thank you, Leanne Hounsel, for sending that photo in. If you have any weather photos you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Excellent. And thanks for being with us, everyone. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.
Good night.